Hello everyone, welcome to Lauren's Scrap Lot. I hope you're all staying warm on this wintry, blustery day. I had the pleasure of hosting a Handmade for the Holidays crafting event. This is an annual event that I host every year around the Christmas season, usually at the end of October here. And I absolutely fell in love with this little box that we made, and I promised all the girls I'd do a little video to show them how to make it. Now, we also had another project that I did promise to do a video on, and that was this star card here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to post this box video first, and then I'll come on again and do a separate video for that card, just so that you guys can replay each project separately if you need to go back and make these yourself. So to make this little box, I used our new Christmas Gleaming stamp set. I used the coordinating punches, and then I also used the coordinating DSP, the Brightly Gleaming Designer Series paper, and our copper foil sheets. And this ink color here is the Pretty Peacock. So that's the color scheme that I used, and I'll go through all the other materials as we're working. So I just want to give a big shout out to, I lost it. I couldn't find the name of the lady who I first saw the box directions from. She had used our Let It Snow suite and made a box with it. But she's out there in Pinterest land, and I just want to say thank you. But I took the Brightly Gleaming suite and made a box instead. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So to begin, you guys need a piece of Night of Navy cardstock. And this is a really large piece. You're going to need it to measure 11 inches long by 4.5 inches wide. And on our scoreboard, we're going to score it at 3.5 inches, 5 inches, 8.5 inches, and 10 inches on the long side. Then you're going to turn it 90 degrees, rest it in the corner, and this, my upside down marker, is reminding me to put a score line at 3 inches on the bottom here. Now what you need to do to make a nice box, and I'll just lift that up now so you can see a wider angle, is we're going to cut a few little grooves in here so that we can easily fold the pieces up. So it's your choice whether you want to start folding on all the lines right now, or if you want to do that later. But just with the bone folder, press down on all of those scored lines that we did, because we want these nice and crisp, so when we fold our box up, it will easily go together. Okay, and on that long one as well. All right, now for some snipping. Okay, so if you can guess, this big part is going to be our main box, this box here. These little pieces on the bottom, they're going to be the flaps, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn this over so you can see this section here. You actually don't need this tiny little rectangle, so you can go ahead and cut that out. And then on each of the square pieces, those 2 square pieces, we're going to cut just a tiny triangle out of them so that we end up with just a little less to fold in the end, okay? So that rectangle, that small one, has now disappeared. I've cut a little triangle on this side, and I'm going to do the same to this side here. Okay. Don't do anything to these big rectangle pieces. We're going to concentrate on this little square now too. Take a little triangle out of him, and the opposite side as well. Now you can attach your box however you wish. I do suggest using something stronger than the snail, because you're going to want to put some heavy treats in here. So you want something perhaps like the double-sided tape, or you can even use the Tombow liquid glue. Whatever you use, just make sure that it's going to be nice and sturdy for your project. Okay, so I'm just going to cut myself a few pieces of the tape here. And on my sample, I've kind of already laid out what I wanted to do. So I want tape on each of my little scraps here. So I did it the opposite way. That's these two guys here. One little square there. And on this one, you will then also want adhesive on this section because this is what you're going to close the box up with. Okay, so you want adhesive all over that extra piece there, just on the inside of it. And then you do, because you're going to close your box up like so, and we'll be folding our flaps down. One of these rectangles doesn't really need any adhesive on it whatsoever, but the other one does. Okay, so you're going to put adhesive just on the bottom side of this one here. And it doesn't matter which rectangle you have on the top of your box. You may want to pay attention to where the back of the box is, because I kind of like the end of my flap going there. But if you've made a mistake and it goes the other way, your box will work just the same. So don't stress about it. So then once you have all your adhesive on, go ahead and take all those backings off, and we'll fold this all in one fell swoop. Just a little trick for you guys, if you don't have nails to use when you're taking off your adhesive, if you just take your bone folder and kind of rub it over your double-sided tape, the friction heats it up enough that it actually kind of separates from the adhesive for a few seconds, enough for you to get your finger hiding under there. Okay, so here's my box. I'm going to fold this part over here and just make sure that's nicely pressed together. Then go ahead and put your flaps down so they're facing the inside of the box. And whichever flap you didn't put adhesive on, that one's going to go down first. And then you can put the other one over top. Make sure, I like to turn my box over and kind of just press into the bottom of it. If you're doing a tall box, you may need a tool like your bone folder just to kind of press in there, but this one's pretty short. You can fit your hand in there and just kind of press down so all that adhesive sticks together. Okay, so now we have this cute little part of the box. How are we going to add this extended piece? So that's going to require another piece of Night of Navy cardstock. This one is going to measure 3.5 inches by 6 inches long. You're going to cut yourself a piece of designer series paper. You can use front or back, whatever pattern you like, but this is going to measure 3 inches by 3.25, and that will go just on the top of this piece here. Okay, so go ahead and attach that. You can use snail. I just had it all prepped with double-sided tape for me. Okay, press that down. And then this is the part of the box. I didn't want to waste entire sheet of the DSP because this is just getting hidden inside the box. You're not going to see it, okay? So to attach it, all I did was I put either snail or double-sided tape on the bottom half of this here. So don't put it behind your DSP because that part of the box you do see and you don't want any adhesive on it. So just put it on the bottom half on the back here, okay? And this slides really easily into that space. And again, you're just gonna make sure it's nicely pressed down for you. Okay, I'm gonna make that the front of my box. So go until it touches the bottom, and then you can get your hand in there again, or a tool if you need, and just press it all down. Okay, now to decorate the front, all I did was I grabbed a piece of our copper foil and I ran it through the hammered metal embossing folder to give it these awesome grooves. This one was cut the same size as my DSP, so 3 inches by 3.25, and I just put some adhesive on the back, and I'm going to put that right on the front of my box. All right. So the how-to of how to decorate the other parts is completely up to you. What I used for my little decal was our scalloped circles and our stitch circles. So I cut the scallop circle out of the Night of Navy, and I am going to pop that one up on dimensionals. My copper piece I have cut out of the copper foil, and that's just getting attached right to the front of this here. I do suggest kind of building your decal before adding it to the box, because you can press it, you can press the pieces a lot harder right now. So out of the brightly gleaming DSP, I have cut 2 ornaments. So your larger ornament goes right on the left-hand side here. And the smaller one is just going to come beside it, near the bottom of that circle. And then in the brightly gleaming stamp set, there is this Merry Christmas sentiment. You do have to stamp it onto Whisper White and then cut it out by hand, but because the lines are so clear, it's very easy to do. Make sure you only, I popped it up on dimensionals, but only put dimensionals on the Merry part of your sentiment, because if you can see here, Christmas actually kind of goes over the edge, and if you put a dimensional, it'll kind of stick to the box instead. So just put dimensionals on the very edge here by the Merry sentiment, and that can go just up top here, tucked maybe behind your ornament. All right, now you're ready to put this on the box. So take those dimensionals off the back. And pop that guy right on the front here. All right, and then your box is done. So I hope you guys had fun watching this video. I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys create and also what you fill it with. You could put some hot chocolate or apple cider in there. Our ink pads, if you're looking for a gift, they fit right in there. You could put an ink pad, some Tombow, adhesive, or you could just grab a handful of candy, shove that in the top too, maybe in a little cellophane bag. But whatever you make sure to just post a picture in the comments so everyone else can see what you've done. And I will talk to you guys again in a few minutes with this green fun fold card here. All right, bye.